Howdy folks, so this is the inside of Harbour Air seaplanes, or I guess you can call this the airport. There's a few, you get complimentary tea and coffee, and this is the little lounge with an absolutely beautiful view. I mean, check this. And this is the other flights, sea air seaplanes, Gulf Island seaplanes. So there's a couple of different seaplane companies around. That's where you can get where you can also get some sightseeing tours, well, flight seeing tours as they call them. Look at this. Absolutely stunning views out here. Nice. And then there's a little gift shop on the other side. I mean, what's an airport without shopping? Even if it's a tiny seaplane airport. It's the lounge. And they sell a bunch of stuff. You can get some luggage. You can get some stickers and little trinkets, I guess. Hey, just maybe get one of those. Look like a real aviator. Kids aviator hat. Damn, there's no parents aviator hat. Look at this. And you've also got backpacks, cards, a whole bunch of stuff. Lots of Yeti coolers, and then of course some clothing. So this is the Harbour Air check-in counters. Some exceptionally friendly young ladies that work here and that get you checked in and ready to go. So yeah, there we are. Harbour Air, I'll get some more done on the plane. Okay, so here we are at the plane. Just walked up, lining up. I'm not sure exactly what these little water pools in the middle between the docks are. We'll see, maybe we can ask him. And there's our plane, guys. Just about ready to head on in. You just grab whatever seat you can get. Oh, she's the obstacle. Oh. Next time, you gotta rush when you get the seat up front. It's gonna be a full flight today, it seems. All right. These planes are quite noisy. Right, here we go. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just lost that there. Oops. All right, so here we are in the plane. Very tight squeeze. Yes. Okay folks, I'm just going to take over with some narration because it was super noisy in the aeroplane and you cannot hear a word. The video recording didn't work very well. I'll leave the aeroplane side sound a little bit softer in the background though. So I got to sit on the right side of the seat, and because we got in a little late, we just had to get a seat, and it was tiny. My legs were too long, so it was a little bit of a struggle. Belinda was sitting next to me and she was hanging off of the one seat with one bum. So the seats in these planes are not big. So piece of advice, if you're ever going to take a float plane ride, a very important thing is to make sure that you are right at the front of the queue when boarding starts, because that way you get to sit up front with the pilot, which has got a lot more leg space, or at the very least you can pick one of the two back seats, which has more leg space, or the single row seats. Anyway, it was still a good trip. So there in the background we've got Canada Place. I sat next to the right window, and it's actually quite fantastic how quickly these little things go up in the air. I suppose they must be one of the safer ways of traveling, because you know they kind of can glide, and unless you make a real mistake you can still get down to the ground if the engine cuts out and stuff. It was a nice day for the flight, although it was a little bit what do you call it? It's like, it's not misty, or I don't know, the air is just not clear. It's got like this white I don't know, in Afrikaans we call it duinsterig. But anyway, I don't know what the English word for that is. Anyway, but it was a beautiful day. So that's Canada Place there in the background. That looks like the tents. That's the exhibition center. And he's going to bump it up right now so we can start takeoff. Oh, there we go. It's actually quite nuts. Ah, there we go. Belinda got the word for me. It was a hazy day. Very hazy. It's like everywhere along the flight, you know, you can't see very far and clear. Okay, so we are about to take off, and then we're going to bank to the left, and we're going to see the whole of the North Shore on our right. And up we go. It is a cool trip though. I said to Belinda, maybe we should go and get our pilot's licenses and learn how to fly these little planes. Sounds like that could be a fun experience. Okay guys, so here we go. Turning to the right, and we've got the giant pile of what is that? Sulfur, I assume, because of the yellow color over there. I don't know what they use that for. That's actually an interesting question. What are the giant pile of yellow sulfur there? It must be sulfur. Well, I suppose it is. All right, and then if you look at on the right there, well, they're in front of us. We are going to pass over Park Royal now. There's Park Royal coming up. Here's the Lionsgate Bridge coming underneath us. And then the little hill there behind Park Royal, that is Sentinel Hill. That's where we live. Let me put an arrow there. Okay, so now you've seen Sentinel Hill, where we live. This is Ambleside Park right here in the foreground, where we always go and do our 5K park run. We basically run right around the edge there, from where the quay is, or the dock that you can see over there. We just run right around the edge, all the way almost back to there, and then back again. So yeah, that's Ambleside. And this is West Vancouver sprawled out in front of us. It's interesting seeing it from the sky. I must say, spring is here, but it's still looking a little bit dreary. But I guess it's also the haziness. We don't have the beautiful green of summer just yet. But it is still an interesting view. It's amazing how far up on the mountain it goes. So the story goes that the guy that brought Mr. Taylor, after whom Taylor Way is named, he actually made a deal with the government to get all the land up to specifically that line. I think it's 2,800 feet or 1,800 feet above sea level. And that's for British property. So all the land up to that level, going right around to by Horseshoe Bay around the corner there, belongs to British properties. I think they still have land to develop for like another, at the current rate, they can still develop for like another freaking 100 years or something. As you can see on the right, there's lots of properties, and then there's all those open spaces there in front of us now, which is new areas that they're developing to build more houses on the West Shore and clog up the bridge traffic even more, I guess. Yeah, I must say that's Lionsgate Bridge is sometimes one of those real traffic issues. Okay guys, and you'll see all the big ships. It's amazing how many of these big ships are in the inlet. like 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 at a time sometimes. It's crazy. And they are huge. They don't look like it on the camera, but they are huge. And we are coming across now, this is Lighthouse Park, coming into view right now in the bottom left or in the middle left, and you will see the lighthouse very soon. This is a lighthouse that was, there it is, the little tiny white lighthouse. It was the actual lighthouse for many, many years. I mean, it's shut down right now, but that's Lighthouse Park. Me and Belinda, actually, there's a video where we walked down to the lighthouse, amongst all the hundreds of other videos we have. Check out all the boats. And then around the corner there in front, that little outcropping that you see there, at the back of it, that's Horseshoe Bay. So that's where the ferry normally leaves from, when we take the ferry. And then you've got the Sea to Sky highway running up around the bend there next to the mountain. It always amazes me when I look at like this little island that's coming into view right now. I actually don't know what it's called, but I mean, the little island with a few houses on it, and then there's a guy that really doesn't like other people. I mean, there's this tiny little island there in the front, and it's got a house on it. So you can only get there by boat. Nobody's going to come bug you, I guess. Eh? It's like you want to be alone, but you want to be away from people, and they can't just arrive there, but at least you are still close to everything, I guess. My wife doesn't want to do that. I can see myself doing that. I can see myself going and living on a little island and just have boat access. But Belinda says she thinks in a previous life she might have drowned on a boat because she does not like boats or the ocean. And of course, here we've got Bowen Island coming into view on the left. Bowen Island is unfortunately one of the places that we have not visited yet, which is so weird. We must actually make an outing to Bowen Island. It's such a cool place. I've heard it's a nice place. It's mostly wild and crown land, I think, and then there's a few areas with properties and houses. It seems like a really cool island, and they've got like ferries every 20 minutes to Horseshoe Bay. Actually, one of Angelique's friends live on Bowen Island, so Angelique's been there quite a few times. She's gone on sleepovers to Bowen Island quite a few times. We've just never been. I guess this is one of the things for the summer. We're definitely going to do a summer Bowen Island trip. Just has to happen, I think. Yeah, interesting. I mean, a lot of these houses, or some of these houses, you can see it's kind of fairly secluded. I mean, there's only like a few houses here on the beach. I can imagine they cost an arm and a leg again. And then when we pass Bowen Island, up ahead there we've got the Sunshine Coast. Okay, so as we come around the end of Bowen Island there, let's see if we can identify the places. There on the right, on the left, just coming into view at the back of that little island is Elphinstone, Gibsons. That's kind of where Connor went for his camp last time. Yeah, it's Gibsons is the town there, Elphinstone also. And then these little islands here in front of them, the biggest one in the middle that looks like a funny shape with the two edges, that's Paisley Island. And then the big one behind there, you don't actually see that it's an island, but the one directly behind the two little ones, that's Keats Island, which is also quite a big island. Well, not quite a big island, I mean bigger than the rest of these tiny ones. I actually don't know the names of all the other ones. Oh wait, hang on a second. Popham Island, Little Popham Island, Hermit Island, Silver Island, Mickey Island, Roderick Island, Woolcombe Island. It's all these little tiny islands around there. They obviously, I think, uninhabited, most of them. And then of course, as we go further, what we see in front of us is just basically the Sunshine Coast. So we are now going over the Strait of Georgia, and we'll see everything up north, which is Roberts Creek, Selma, Welcome, from up there. I'm going to fast forward it from here because there's not too much exciting happening. It's just a giant flight over the ocean for the next few minutes, so I'm going to speed it up for us a little bit. Here we go. So we're going to fly really fast for a little bit. See what I mean by hazy? It's like there's like this whitish bluish overlay over the whole thing. And we're going to see just now on the left in here, we've got the ferry coming in. I slowed it down a little bit. So that's the ferry from Horseshoe Bay to Nanaimo that we are passing. And on the other side of the plane, we are now passing Gabriola Island. I must say it's actually quite quick. I mean, they say it's 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we weren't in the air for 20 minutes. It was like more 15 or 16 minutes before we sat down on the other side. It is a nice little trip, except for the seat size, I guess. Alright, so let's speed it up again. And here we go, crossing the Strait of Georgia. And very soon we are going to start arriving in Nanaimo Harbour. Which is also a nice area, I must say. You know, it's a cool spot. Okay, so what we're seeing on the left coming into view here, this is Vancouver Island, although the one with all the trees there, that is Sutsun Newcastle Island Marine Provincial Park. So that whole island is a provincial park. It's all protected, and it's quite a big one. It's a nice island. And then in front of it is called Protection Island, the one that's coming into view just now. And then of course a whole bunch of these big ships around also. So there we go. Protection Island has a few houses on it, which is yeah, but I don't think there's a ferry to there, although there might be. Interesting, I wonder. Because you're very close to Nanaimo, but you're on your own little island. A couple of nice houses, a couple of nice places around there. It's actually quite funny when this guy, I mean, you're going to see the bank now. They come in very steep to land with these little water planes. It's almost like, you know, it just switches it off and it just starts going straight down. It's sometimes a little bit freaky, but it is cool. It's a great experience. Okay, there's Protection Island in front of us. Look at all the properties with their own marinas, and we're going, and poof, in the water. And that's it. That's almost the end of our trip. It is awesome soaring like a bird. I was actually thinking we should definitely go for a one of these sightseeing trips. I mean, this is all cool flying to Nanaimo, but they've got these sightseeing trips around Vancouver where you get on these planes and that actually takes you round and round the city and the mountains and shows you everything. Well, we'll have to pick a not hazy day, because hazy, well, I guess in summer it's going to be different. The haze, that's probably just, I guess, like water vapor in the air, because it's definitely not smoke. I know summertime sometimes it gets hazy because of the veld fires or the bushfires. And I guess that's it, folks. Pulling up to the dock, we are going to disembark shortly. Have a good one. Cheers.